You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not destined to cycle through poverty and disease for the rest of your days. And if you have ever lain awake at 3 in the morning, body aching, bank account empty, whispering into the dark, "Why is this always happening to me?" then hear me now. You tell yourself you have bad luck. You tell yourself sickness runs in your family. You tell yourself money was never meant for people like you. But that is not the real reason. The real reason is this: you have been speaking the curse into existence with your own mouth. Every time you said, "I cannot afford it," every time you said, "I am always sick," every time you said, "This is just how my life is," you were not describing reality, you were decreeing it. But I say unto you, the cycle breaks the moment you break the word that sustains it. Poverty and disease are not two separate demons. They are twins born from the same lie. The lie that you are separate from God. The lie that supply is outside of you. The lie that your body is beyond divine governance. There is one affirmation that severs both roots at once. One spoken word that ends the beggar's identity and raises the heir. And tonight, you will speak it, not as hope, not as wish, as law. Decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. There is a teaching I have given for decades, and yet it remains the most misunderstood truth in all of spiritual law. Poverty and disease are not two separate conditions. They are not unrelated misfortunes that happen to visit the same life by coincidence. They are twins. They share one womb. And that womb is the belief that you are separate from God. You have been taught to treat them as different problems. You pray for money in one prayer. You pray for healing in another. You seek financial counsel from one teacher and medical counsel from another. But I tell you, the root is singular. The word that heals your body is the same word that fills your purse. The affirmation that breaks the cycle of poverty is the affirmation that breaks the cycle of disease, because both are sustained by the same lie: that supply is outside of you, that health is beyond your dominion, that you are at the mercy of forces greater than the divine inheritance within you. This is not philosophy. This is not metaphor. This is law. Say this now. Speak it aloud so your own ears hear the decree. I am one with infinite supply. Lack has no place in me. Say it again. Do not whisper it. Do not think it quietly in the privacy of your mind. Speak it as though you are commanding the ethers to rearrange. I am one with infinite supply. Lack has no place in me. And so it is. But the lie has a voice, and you have been speaking it. Every morning you wake and the first thought is a calculation. How much is left? How many days until the next payment? How long before the body fails again? You do not call this prayer. You call it being realistic. But realism is just another name for rehearsing lack. And rehearsal is decree. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and named what is wrong? How many times have you checked the bank account and spoken the number aloud with a sigh? How many times have you said, "I cannot afford it," as though those 4 words were neutral observation and not the cursing of your own supply? I had a student once who wanted a hat. She went to the shop, she saw the hat, she loved it, but she said aloud, "I cannot afford it." Then she bought it anyway, thinking the purchase was an act of faith. But the hat brought her nothing but misery. She was criticized when she wore it. It went out of style within weeks. She never felt beautiful in it. She came to me confused. She said, "I bought the thing I wanted. Why did it turn to dust?" And I told her what I tell you now. Your word precedes your supply. The moment you said, "I cannot afford it," you cursed the hat before it ever touched your head. You did not buy it in faith. You bought it in lack, and lack cannot bless anything it touches. You tell yourself you are being careful with money. You tell yourself you are being responsible. But that is not the real reason. The real reason is that you have made a god out of scarcity. You speak its name more than you speak the name of the divine. And whatever you name, you summon. Stop speaking the condition. Stop describing the appearance. Stop narrating the lack as though repetition will prepare you for more of it. Speak this now. I deny the voice of lack. I speak only the word of divine abundance, not someday, not when the bank account changes, not when the symptoms leave. Now, in this moment, before the evidence shifts, I deny the voice of lack. I speak only the word of divine abundance. And so it is. Now the field is cleared. Now the true word may be planted. And the true word is this: you have a divine inheritance. It was never conditional. It was never earned. It was never given to some and withheld from others. It is yours by the singular fact that you are the expression of God in human form. But the inheritance does not activate by thought alone. It activates by decree. Thought is silent. Thought is private. Thought has no dominion over matter. But the spoken word is the wand. The spoken word does not return void. The spoken word goes forth into the invisible and commands substance to take form. They tell you to visualize. They tell you to feel it as though it is already yours. But they leave out the lever. The word is the wand. Without it, the pictures in your mind are dust. Affirmation alone is empty. You must first deny what is not divine, then affirm what is. The denial clears the room. The affirmation furnishes it. There is one sentence you have not yet spoken. It is the sentence that kills the beggar and raises the air in the same breath. Before this teaching is sealed, I will place it in your mouth, and when you speak it, the identity you have carried for years will fall away like a coat you no longer need. This is the affirmation that severs both roots at once. First, the denial, then the affirmation. This is the pattern I have taught in every book, in every session, in every moment of demonstration I have ever witnessed. Speak it now. Say it with the certainty of one who has already inherited the kingdom. I deny poverty and disease. I affirm my divine inheritance of perfect health and endless supply. Do not rush it. Do not recite it like a memorized poem. Speak each word as a command. Poverty, denied. Disease, denied. Divine inheritance, affirmed. Perfect health, affirmed. Endless supply, affirmed. Now say it once more, and this time let your voice rise. I deny poverty and disease. I affirm my divine inheritance of perfect health and endless supply. Decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. This is not suggestion. This is divine law, spoken through Job, operative in every generation, waiting only for a mouth bold enough to claim it. And so it is. But the word alone is not enough if the identity beneath the word is still the beggar. You cannot speak the language of the air while wearing the costume of the one who has nothing. The beggar's self must die, not improve, not heal slowly over time. Die. You have been that self for so long you think it is your name. The one who struggles, the one who barely makes it, the one whose body betrays them every season, the one who works hard and receives little. You have worn this identity so long it feels like skin, but it is not skin. It is a coat, and tonight you take it off. You do not mend it. You do not wash it and wear it one more year. You bury it. I had a student who could not let go of a man who had left her. She came to me weeping. She wanted him back. She wanted the engagement ring he had taken. And I said to her, "You must loose him and let him go." She protested. She said, "But I love him." And I said, "What you love is the smallness of yourself that needs him. Let him go. Speak the words that sever the cord." She obeyed. She stood in my parlor and said aloud, "I loose him and let him go. What is mine by divine right cannot be taken from me." 3 days later, the ring was returned. Not because she held on, because she released. And this is what I say to you now. Loose the beggar's self. Let it go. Stop defending it. Stop explaining why you are the way you are. Stop rehearsing your history as though history is destiny. Say this now. Say it as an act of burial. The beggar I was is dead. The heir I am now rises. Do not say it tentatively. Do not hope it is true. Declare it as law. The beggar is dead. Done. buried. The air rises. Now. Not in a year. Not after 10 more lessons. Now. The beggar I was is dead. The air I am now rises. And so it is. And in the rising, you are not the same. The words you speak are not the same. The air does not say, I hope. The air does not say, maybe if I work harder. The air does not beg. The air decrees. There came to me one day a man who needed $8,000 in 24 hours. He called at 9 in the morning. His voice shook. He said, I do not know what to do. And I said, we do not hope, we decree. And together we spoke the word, Infinite Spirit. The supply is now released. It reaches this man by the appointed hour. We did not discuss how. We did not strategize. We did not make a plan. We spoke the word and released it into the law. By 6 that evening, he called again. The money had come, not from the source he expected, from a contact he had not thought of in years. The bridge of incidents had formed the moment the word was spoken. They call it luck. They call it coincidence. I call it law. The sudden check, the unexpected gift, the impossible reversal. These are not anomalies. They are demonstrations. The word does not return void. It goes forth and commands the invisible to rearrange on your behalf. You tell yourself you must figure out how the supply will come. You tell yourself you must make it happen, but that is not the real reason you exhaust yourself. The real reason is you do not yet trust that the word is enough. But the word is enough. The word is the lever. The word is the wand, and the air speaks differently than the beggar ever could. The beggar says, I need. The air says, I have. The beggar says, I hope someday. The air says, it is established now. The beggar bargains. The air commands. Speak this now. Let the grammar shift in your mouth. I speak as the air, not the beggar. My word is law. Not maybe, not eventually. My word is law, now. In this moment, before the evidence appears, say it again, slower this time. Let each word settle. I speak as the air, not the beggar. My word is law. And so it is. Now you will be tested. The old pictures will return. You will wake tomorrow, and the bank account will show the same number. The body will show the same symptoms, and a voice will whisper, see, nothing has changed. But I tell you, do not judge by appearances. The outer world is always the last to shift. The word goes forth first into the invisible. It does not return void. It gathers substance. It forms the bridge of incidents. It moves people and conditions you cannot see. And then, only then, does the material world rearrange itself to match the decree. The pictures on the walls of your mind are what must change first, and they change not because you try harder to visualize. They change because you deny the false picture and command the divine picture to take its place. There is one final truth I must speak before you leave this chamber. It is the truth that closes the gap between the word you spoke tonight and the life you will walk tomorrow. Hold steady. It is coming. You are standing in your kitchen right now, or your bedroom, or your car. You are listening to these words, and part of you wants to believe them, but another part of you is already calculating, already doubting, already rehearsing the old script. Stop. Do not let the lag time seduce you back into the beggar's voice. The delay is not proof that the word failed. The delay is the bridge forming. Trust the interval. Do not fill it with doubt. Fill it with decree. Say this now, and let it be the word that holds you when the old pictures return. I do not judge by appearances. I decree the divine design, and it is so. Not I hope it is so. Not I wish it were so. It is so. Now. Established. Done. Hear yourself say it once more. I do not judge by appearances. I decree the divine design, and it is so. And so it is. You now see it. The affirmation that breaks the cycle of poverty and disease is not two affirmations. It is one, because the cycle itself is one. And if you have heard yourself in this teaching, if you have felt the moments where your own mouth cursed what your heart desired, then you have just found the gap. It is the gap between the word you speak in prayer and the word you speak in fear. It is the distance between "I affirm abundance at night" and "I cannot afford it" by morning. That gap closes the moment you speak with the authority of the air, not the desperation of the beggar. The cause is not your unworthiness. The cause is that the spoken word law has not been activated daily in your mouth. Speak it now. Seal it now. I deny poverty and disease. I affirm my divine inheritance of perfect health and endless supply. Do not let this moment dissolve into silence. Seal it with your word. Every transformation must be claimed, not just felt. What I spoke over you in this teaching is not meant to live in one video. It is meant to live in your mouth every day. That is why I prepared the 30 spoken declarations, 30 sacred sentences across wealth, health, and divine timing, written so your daily speech matches the law you have just remembered. It is free. The link is below this video. Speak them morning, noon, and night, and watch the law operate. Write the affirmation below, not for me, but for you. Let your own eyes see the sentence that carries your wealth. Type the decree into the chamber. Let your fingers anchor what your spirit has accepted. Say this now as your closing claim. I am the heir, not the beggar. I deny poverty and disease. I affirm my divine inheritance. My word is law, and the divine design of my life now comes to pass. If this voice calls your soul into deeper remembrance, subscribe, not for content, but for covenant. This is not a channel, it is a chamber of law, and the law is now established in you. And so it is.